All right, everybody. So on this episode, we want to talk about Donald Trump's rants and how they are becoming increasingly hilarious, but also increasingly dangerous, and people need to start paying
Scary.
attention. His mental decline over the past week has been
Shocking.
wide out in the open. It has been truly shocking. It's
Like,
gotten
it's
so
hard to
bad.
get shocked. It's shocking.
Yeah. Right, by stuff Donald Trump says, but it's gotten so bad that his people are now canceling interviews, and I don't think we'll see how much we see of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
out
now
on the
who's going to be
campaign
hiding
trail.
from the media?
Right. He canceled, and Kamala Harris is crushing it on the media front. She has been talking to absolutely everybody. What, Howard Stern's show? I think she was also on with she was on The View. What else has she done?
Well, apparently her and Trump are going to be not together on Rogan's podcast.
Oh, that's
which,
right.
Whatever. Oh, she was
I
on the
actually
other
thought that
podcast.
was
She was on that other podcast. I apologize for not remembering the name of it, but it was like
Call
the
Her
most
Daddy.
watched podcast.
Yeah, it was Call Her Daddy. It was the one podcast that she
Yep.
did with that was good. Actually, I really enjoyed that one.
Yep.
She also is not going to stop.
What's really funny is that Donald Trump has been trying to ding Kamala for not being in the media spotlight and all that. Okay.
Mhm.
No one cares about corporate media, Donald. You are trying to say the corporate media is the enemy of the people. So you've already shoehorned yourself into extremist right-wing media. Meanwhile, Kamala is now starting to do some of the corporate, but all this other alternative, modern, digital, independent media, and everyone's sick of you. You're just the same old record. And now everyone's like, man, what has Kamala got to say? I haven't heard her speak for a while or yet. I'm going to listen to her now. So
Right.
leading up to the election, people are going to be tuning in to hear Kamala because they don't know what she said before. And no one's going to be tuning into you, Donnie boy. So you
And I
screwed
thought it
yourself.
was a very good idea on her part to point out the fact that he has not released his medical records.
Nor will he.
No, but he is claiming that this is a post that he did on Truth Social. Here we go. I believe it is very important that Kamala Harris pass a test on cognitive stamina and agility. Him and his capitalizations kill me.
Yeah, he
Her
loves it.
actions have led many to believe there could be something wrong with her. Even
Have they?
60 Minutes and CBS, in order to protect Lion Kamala, illegally and unscrupulously replaced an answer she had given, which was totally bonkers, with another answer that had nothing to do.
How
This
would
is
he
hard
know
to
that?
read. I'm sorry, this is hard to read.
Wait a minute.
Nothing to-
How would he know that?
Right.
The
Also,
60 Minutes.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
let me finish. Also, she is slow and lethargic in answering even the easiest of questions. We just went through almost 4 years of that. We shouldn't have to do it again. What are you talking about, man?
So does Donald Trump, like, he just said he's not going to do the 60 Minutes interview. He chickened out.
Right. Check it
But
out.
now, right? And he also told them how useless and irrelevant they are. But of course he's got an in, and someone slipped them the information that Kamala had a weird answer, so they had to change it for. How would he know that? Critical thinking, people. Just freaking use it. Just learn how to use it. That whole claim makes no sense. Look with your own eyes. Who's lethargic? Donald Trump's like this and can't remember where he is, stands on the stage for 40 minutes listening to music, or Kamala Harris, who's got like the busiest campaign schedule anyone's ever seen, who's bouncing all over the place, showing up all over the place, actually has energy and can, like, carry a thought to conclusion. Donald, come on, buddy.
Yeah. So we actually have quite a few clips ranging from funny, just ridiculous claims that I don't even understand. This is not the claims of a well man. You're going to be blown away. Misspeaking words like he can't say what he wants to say. He can't stay on topic. But some of the stuff he's been saying is extremely dangerous too. So we'll start slow. Here is him. Remember, the word is Arizonans. Okay, just remember that word when I play this video.
Thank you, Tanya. Oh, beautiful. You look great. Thank you, darling. Also, we have many Azerasians in our room. We have some incredible people in our room. We have so many that we just can't But we have some people. We have some people in our room that I'm not going to mention because they fully understand why. Because they don't have time. But Robert O'Brien, I'm mentioning because he's the one that got the 300 plus people. So Robert O'Brien, please stand up.
I think I get it. Maybe Azerbaijan is one of those countries that Donald Trump keeps saying that we've never heard of before. I've never heard.
That's possible.
Azerbaijans? How do you go from that to Arizona to Azerbaijans? I mean,
I don't.
You know,
I don't even know what to say. Like, it's funny, but this guy is rapidly losing his mind. Okay, rapidly, and it's in a spectacular way. He is going to go out with a bang because when you see the rest of these clips, there's no going back. He's not going to get saner and more normal. He's going to devolve, get more rational, and say more ridiculous things, and no one's stopping him. No one. Well, they are because they're pulling him out of his interviews, but other than that, no one's stopping him.
Right. But then like the media has now incorporated the term the weave into their presentation of their sane washing of this. The weave is also known as rambling like a fucking madman.
It's true.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay.
It's not a weave, guy.
All right. So here's Trump out on the campaign trail, trying to say that Kamala Harris cannot speak. She can't even get a sentence correct. And he tries to explain the term word salad. And he ends up just saying word. It's so funny. Just watch this.
There's something wrong with her. When you can't get up and make a speech like normally, like with all the work we do, you think you could for 40 minutes. Well, she makes very short speeches too. Do you ever notice they're like 10 minutes? It's, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you. My name is Kamala. And she, she'll speak like so routinely. And I hate the word. They had word salad. The words. I don't like the sound of it, but it's sort of true. She just they're just words. They're put together. They don't mean anything. How the hell can we have a person like this to be our president?
How could we possibly? Kamala. This man has no shame. This man, I'm sorry, I'm crying. I
gotta tell you, the word irony has lost all meaning. I don't know how you satire Donald Trump anymore. He just said in a ramble, he rambles, and that no one should want to vote for anyone as president who rambles.
Right. He just gave a word salad
now
definition of word salad.
But he's saying that she's slurring her words, which whatever, fine. If you're going to make fun of someone, you're obviously Donald Trump. But
yeah, I have a speech.
She doesn't slur her words. So him saying that is almost in a way he knows that his voters aren't watching anything she says.
Right.
So they don't know. So they probably believe him. They believe anything he says.
Okay. But it gets all right. So let's go to, this is probably the most outrageous claim of the last week. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain this one. Donald Trump claims that they're gonna ban the cows now. They're eating the dogs and the cats, and they're gonna ban the cows in the windows. What the fuck is going on, man?
Just come up. They want to do things like no more cows and no windows in buildings. They have some wonderful plans for this country.
What the hell is Donald Trump talking about?
I don't know.
Saying that the Democrats want to ban cows and ban windows from buildings. I mean, what I think he means is he's scared of the cows that are looking at him through windows.
That's what it is.
And as we all know, the Republicans like to demonize things. So the next thing is we're probably going to see something from Moms for Liberty talking about how cows are corrupting, trying to corrupt the youth, want to do some gay. Moo. Hey, heifer, pass me that grass. Moo. Look, I don't know what Donald Trump is talking about because Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. There is no one on the planet that has a clue what Donald Trump is talking about. 6 months ago, you could somewhat piece together the word vomit that comes out of him that dribbles down his chin and maybe makes sense of what he's trying to get at. This is beyond rambling. He's barely even communicating at this point.
Right. And keep in mind, this is all from the last week. So there's more. He was in Pennsylvania also. He has been to quite a few places. Now, this rally, for the 2 hours that lasted, apparently he just stood there and played music for a total of 38 minutes of it. And it wasn't good. I don't know why they played. Just stood there, rocking back and forth. Ave Maria.
It was a town hall. He asked 2 questions. Then there were 2 medical emergencies because, get this, they were in a storage facility because they can't rent real spaces. So they had an air-conditioned storage facility and people were passing out from the heat. So after that happened, he got sidetracked. He asked 2 more questions. And then he was like, who wants to answer questions? Play my music.
Right.
And, that's what,
like
45 minutes later, he was...
Like he expected everybody to just sit there and jam with him to Ave Maria. I mean, what was he?
This is what you go to as a Trump supporter, to go to a town hall meeting where your alpha man, your super macho Trumpy boy, is going to answer questions that will devastate Kamala Harris and put those commies in their place. And he's like, couple of questions. Let's listen to music.
And just here, I have an example of an answer he gave to an actual question. Now, the question, I believe, was regarding cost cutting. And he somehow started blaming it immediately on immigration. Okay, let's go.
In the school systems, and they're affecting the hospital system. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, a town of 50,000 people, they've just added 32,000 people, illegal immigrants, and we're not going to put up with it, and we're going to take care of your costs are going to come down, and you're not going to have a problem with...
said the word.
Because the biggest problem, and I'm hearing it from black people, and to a lesser extent right now, but it'll be the same, Hispanic people. And I'll tell you what, our poll numbers have gone through the roof. With black and Hispanic have gone through the roof.
Okay, great.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, I didn't hear anything. I mean, he said the word cost, and he said they'll bring the costs down, but I don't understand how, because he's in Pennsylvania, so I really don't understand how the Haitian migrants in Ohio have anything to do with this story. Well, again, we've went over this a million times. They're here legally. We're tired of saying it because we're tired of them being demonized. But yeah, this is what we're up against.
I am going to say this just as a white guy. It is really gross to have watched Donald Trump stand 3 feet away from a black woman and scream the word black in her face.
I know. It's like that Ron Burgundy.
The blacks.
The second Ron Burgundy.
A lot of blacks like me.
Oh, yeah. Just stop saying it. Like, that's what.
Gross. I got the Stevie.
Oh, man. All right. So now we're going to go. We have 2 more clips. We're going to go to one of the worst things I think Donald Trump has ever said. The most Hitlerish thing that Donald Trump has ever said. Because what he's saying about just people, he doesn't really even designate a certain group. But this is exactly what Adolf Hitler said about the Jews. And we all know what happened there. And then we'll get into the clip that made Donald Trump's team cancel all his shit. But first, the dangerous one.
We have the greatest military in the world, but you have to know how to use them. You have to know how to use them. But I protect you against outside enemies. But, you know, I always say we have the outside enemy. So you can say China, you can say Russia, you can say Kim Jong-un, you can say, but that's not, it's going to be fun. If you have a smart president, no problem. It's the enemy from within, all the scum that we have to deal with that hate our country. That's a bigger enemy than China and Russia.
Unbelievable that an American who's running for president of the United States will say that the enemy from within is a greater threat. We've gone on previous episodes again. We've talked about how Donald Trump has an affiliation for all things Adolf Hitler. You know, reports allegedly again that he used to sleep with a book of Adolf Hitler's quotes, or I'm sorry, speeches next to his bed.
he started this election cycle, if we'll call it that. I'll be dictator for a day.
Mm-hmm.
No one believes him. Everyone knows that he wants to be a dictator. He tried to be a dictator the first time, but he had too many people around him that wouldn't let him shoot nuclear weapons into hurricanes and bomb Mexico. But we're at a point where, like, he is desperate. Okay, let's not try and get in the mind of a Trump supporter. Donald Trump is
Impossible.
Desperate. Okay, he knows that if he does not win the presidency, he will most likely die in jail. Okay, he's gonna, because he's never gonna take a plea deal. So he will end up in jail, or he'll flee. What he is saying now,
I can see
it's
that.
him telling you what his plans are. He literally just said he wasn't even raging. Think about this. That wasn't a tirade. He was surprisingly lucid and calm, explaining to a group of his cult-like followers that the real enemy is not the dictators that he named, right? He literally said Russia, China, North Korea. Those are all literally our actual enemies. Okay.
Yeah.
But the people within, and that a smart president knows how to use the military against the people.
Right. All right. So and finally, we're going to get into the disaster that happened over the last few days in Chicago. Speaking to the economic club or something.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, people with actual business acumen, a lot of them in the room. And the moderator did, a halfway decent job of pushing back some of the stuff he did. And the clip I picked out was, I think, the moment that Donald Trump's whole body language changes, and then he just starts attacking the moderator.
It looks like a little baby who got smacked in the mouth.
Right, but he does not like. He wants he wants everybody to think that he knows more than everybody. That's a problem. Like, that's
and
why
he'll say it.
Right.
There's no limit
exactly
to it.
what he's saying here, right? He's saying the experts are wrong, you're wrong, I'm right, because they went after him over his ridiculous tariff proposal. Because Donald Trump does not know. I'm sorry, Donald Trump has no clue what tariff is.
He does not.
Whoever is telling him tariffs are good are feeding him a whole lot of bullshit. But I
think he honestly is now at the point where he's unhandleable, and he's just pulling the shit out of his diaper.
I mean, he's throwing numbers at like 2,000% on imported goods.
100% of the jobs taken in this country were taken by illegal immigrants. Okay,
right? Just these crazy ass numbers. Could you imagine? His solution is like, we'll just build it in the United States. Like, bro, that's not how the world works, man.
This is the same speech where he insulted car manufacturers, said that kids can do it. It's one where he said only stupid people.
That was a big red flag for me, man. A kid can do it. Okay, you want to put kids to work, then, is what you're saying.
Yep. He also said that it would be only stupid people put old people like elected. And the moderator was like, I mean, you're 78 running for president.
Right, exactly. He told you a cell phone on that one, but
this is bad. This is like, I'm smarter than everyone. I know everything.
Right, you're wrong. I'm right. That's it.
And he gets real gross. He gets so like, ooh, you said it.
Well, just watch his body language. He goes from sitting up and talking to just crossing his arms and sitting back in total defense.
And the markets are looking at the fact you are making all these promises. Latest one was car loans. You're flooding the thing with giving giveaways.
But we're going to grow.
I was actually quite kind to you. I used 7 trillion. The upper estimate is 15 trillion. People like the Wall Street Journal, who's hardly a communist organization,
but you don't know.
They have criticized you on this as well. You are running up enormous debts.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about
everything. Are you meeting with them tomorrow?
By the way. You've been wrong about
You're trying to turn this. You're trying to turn this.
You've been wrong about
No, you're trying to turn this into
You're
debate.
wrong.
It's not a debate. But you're wrong.
People.
You've been wrong. You've been wrong all your life on this stuff.
Right.
First of all, he's not meeting with them. He's not meeting with the Wall Street Journal because he does this all the time. Those people are terrible. I'm meeting with them tomorrow. Those people are dumb. I met with them last week. Like, stop. He has to simultaneously let you know that everyone has him penciled in on their books. Everyone's meeting with him, but everyone's stupid. So he's just spending his time going around talking to stupid people, if you're to believe Donald Trump.
Yeah, I would recommend watching the whole interview because it was so bad
It was
not
bad.
only did they cancel interviews and appearances, his stock took a huge plunge, which I just had to laugh at. I was
Well,
like,
that was
damn.
his moment, right? Look, let's pretend he's a normal candidate. Let's pretend we're the corporate media right now, and Donald Trump is a real legitimate candidate. That was his moment to destroy the competition, to lay down his economic plan. I mean, I know his healthcare plan's coming in 2 weeks, but right now he could lay down his economic plan.
Right.
He was, and I'm not saying that was a sympathetic moderator because the guy did push back, but if Trump had any ability to make up bullshit in at least a somewhat intelligent sounding way, the moderator would have let him get away with it. Okay, he would have. But he's too stupid and he's too up his own ass to even form a sentence that remotely sounds intelligent. And he was just rambling. I know better. I know better. They're stupid. You're stupid. You've been wrong your whole life. That Donald Trump doesn't even know who that guy is. Do you think Donald Trump's been following that guy's work in the papers? Come on.
He keeps going around. Like, the only thing Donald Trump is great at is saying that he's great at business. It's literally the only thing he's great at. The guy's failed his way to the top with a lot of help and a lot of money from a lot of people. This is, something they've been working on for years. And to watch it fall apart like this in such epic fashion right before the election, it's not going to sway any hardcore Trumpers like the lady that believes, weather change is real or government controls the weather, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? We're not going to change their minds. The people that believe all the crazy conspiracies that we talk about on the show, they're going to vote for Trump no matter what. We've proven that time and time again. Nothing he can, that state, it's funny, that statement he made about he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and not lose any support. At this point, I believe that is a factual statement.
How about
That's
this?
crazy
he
to
could
say.
Shit on someone on Fifth Avenue and no one would care.
He really could do whatever. It doesn't matter. All the stuff that's come out over the last 2 years should just be a complete obvious disqualifier.
It is amazing that we've been doing this show for a year, and he's been, we'll call it campaigning for the whole time. And
the whole time.
He's just getting more and more insane, but it's more and more desperate. And now we're at the point where, as much as we still laugh at it, and we've always agreed dark humor is the way to go, because if not, you'll just lose your mind. But my crap, it's getting harder and harder. As much as we are laughing, it's covering up a shitload of fear on my part, because this is not okay. Terrified. Like Jeremy said, we're not scared. We're not going to convince any of his cult. We're not. What we're doing, or what we hope we're doing, is convincing anyone out there that would never, ever, ever vote for Trump. Just go out and vote. Please, because the only way he legitimately steals this is if there's any ambiguity. Go vote. I don't care if you were in the bluest state in the world. I am from New York. Long Island is red as shit, but the state of New York is blue. I am going to vote. I know my electoral college votes are going to Kamala Harris. I hate the electoral college, but I know that's where they're going. I'm still going to vote because we need the numbers. We need to show overwhelmingly that this country rejects Donald Trump and what he represents. And if you learn anything from this last month leading up, these last 3 weeks, 500 hours, I heard today, there are 500 hours left. Think about that.
That's crazy.
Okay. If there's anything that you can do for yourself, it's make the decision to go vote, because this is getting out of hand. The guy's telling you he's going to be a dictator. He's incoherent. And I'm telling you right now, within a month or two, J.D. Vance would be the president of the United States, because what you saw in those videos, you can't handle that. You have to get rid of it. There's no handling Donald Trump at this point.
This is elder abuse is what this is, because the guy's he's lost his mind and still thinks he's the smartest person in the world, which is terrifying.
Still thinks he's president.
And he still stands a chance. That's what bothers me the most. The fact that this guy is actually still in the running for, oh my God. Anyway, we'll talk about that on a future episode. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's all we have for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Please like and subscribe, share the video with your friends, and leave a comment below if you could. It helps us with the algorithm. Other than that, we'll be back on Sunday live at 2 p.m. with our 1-year anniversary show. We're still working on that, so hopefully we have some good stuff in store for you there. Other than that, have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.